Good morning everyone, it's Yvonne here to do you What's Cracking reading. We're going to use the Cosmic Tarot for this reading today. Couple of things, couple of updates as always. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. I know a lot of you have been with me from the very beginning. I had a few beautiful comments yesterday. I'm so happy to have you with me on this journey. So I do love what I do, and I'm glad you appreciate that too. Okay, if you do want a personal reading with me, you can book via www.theaussiegoddess.com. I do offer a range of readings, and it's always good to look there first. You can book and pay and everything at the shop. Anything else? Yes, I won't be on tomorrow, so it'll be a day off for me tomorrow. I'm trying to get myself organised, and I decided I would take the day off and really get stuck into the unpacking and getting my office set up now my desk is done. So, bearing with me, let's get into your reading. Ooh. Okay, the universe wants to talk here. This is just beautiful energy. Now, the Nine of Pentacles sort of talks about being independent, self-sufficient, you know, feeling comfortable in your own skin. This is a person who feels comfortable both physically and mentally. There is sort of an energy of having enough material wealth, but building by yourself. There's a certain type of independence to this card. I also see a brand new beginning with the Ace of Pentacles, and it's something that's aligning with your path here with the Star card. So what this is saying to me here is that whatever you're doing to honor yourself is what Spirit is saying. Honor who you are. You are leading yourself down exactly the right pathway. So there must be something new coming in for you here. It could be stability in a relationship. It could be a brand new start in a career or a job. But whatever you're doing here is aligning beautifully with this. The other thing I see here is that sense that you've healed something and that you're ready to move into the next phase of your life. All right, we'll just shuffle those back in again. I feel like everybody is becoming very conscious of how to love themselves. I think that, you know, when you first start the journey and people are saying to you, you need to look in the mirror and tell yourself you love yourself, and you need to do these things like take time out for yourself. That's what we think loving ourselves is about. But I feel as we sort of get a little bit more knowledgeable, we realize that loving ourselves is, you know, letting go of some of those aspects of ourselves that we have adopted as our own from the beginning, and that's the self-work we do. I'm not sure that we ever really heal or reach a point where we are really comfortable with ourselves, because I strongly feel every time you get to some sort of plateau and you think, well, that's it for a while, I won't do any more, you sort of get something else unraveled for you to look at. So I feel it's been such a journey on the planet, working our way, all of us, and I know I speak to many people who are on the same journey, you know, understanding those things about ourselves that really aren't serving us, and giving ourselves an opportunity to be the best possible version of ourselves that we can. And that comes in a variety of different ways, but unless you're the observer of your own life, and unless you have an awareness of where you are and what you're doing, and you're conscious in your own skin, you don't really know how little you experience as a human being, because you're constantly in your mind thinking, or because you are constantly worrying about what other people think. Those sort of things block you. So when you start to realize those things with the overthinking and the I almost want to say occupating your own mind, then you start to realize and you start to move things aside to, I don't know, to improve who you are. I don't know that we need improving. I don't know that, you know, we're aiming for perfection. But I think that along the way, we can certainly come close to those things. All right, so we have the Lovers coming out first. The Lovers is a card that talks about, now mostly, two people being brought together in a divine connection. It is about some sort of steering you towards somebody that's, you know, going to meet you eye to eye. It also sort of talks about a decision or a choice that you are going to make, and very often that is related to people love. Not necessarily romantic love, but certainly relating to others. And this is a choice you're making here. But it also can mean, depending on what it's about, yeah, you've got communication coming in here from somebody that you have a very close connection to. Again, not always necessarily romantic. There is a choice here. Maybe the choice is around whether you do communicate with somebody, but something is definitely coming towards you here, which makes me feel you're getting some sort of communication in here from somebody that you have a very close soul tie to. The Eight of Wands does talk about rapid movement. It is about, oh look, there we go. It is somebody coming in here, possibly Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, but again, don't focus too much on the signs. It is about the energy of a person. So if you're dealing with the King of Swords, then you're dealing with someone who's very logical, thinks things through, may work in an industry where they're required to have a very good communication. But this is a person who's ready to speak up. I feel like in this particular deck, this person may have sort of caught sight of the bigger picture. This is very Libran energy here. So there is this sort of feeling too around justice, about things finally being brought back into balance. All right, we have the Ten of Cups here. So somebody here, Nine of Wands, Five of Pentacles. I have a feeling that this offer is coming from somebody who's had a change of, definitely had a change, got Pisces energy coming through, Aries energy coming through here, Leo energy. I feel like whoever this person is, they've had a big change of heart here with all these energies going through. This is definitely somebody that perhaps, I don't know that you have known this person before, and it's possible I'm reading for you too, but I feel like for the majority of people, this is somebody you know. Now again, keeping in mind it may not be a romantic thing. I feel like this person has something to say about something that happened in the past here that's helped them to see something very differently to what they did before. So it could be that you've had some sort of, I don't feel like it's an argument. I feel like it's not so much a disagreement, but not sort of being able to get on the same page as someone. Because there is this feeling that things are being balanced. So maybe you've challenged someone on something or stood your ground on something, and this person is starting to see things a little bit more from your perspective. Whatever that means for you, it could be, you know, both male or female. It could be someone who's a friend or a relative, or it could be a romantic interest. But the way I'm feeling it here is there's been a disruption of a connection because of the inability to agree on something. So it might even be the father of your children. It could be an ex-husband, but you're just not on the same page. And I feel like this person somehow or another is starting to understand here. And maybe because I threw those cards in the beginning that sort of talk about you doing a lot of work on yourself, sort of leveling up, glowing up, as they say now, maybe this person is seeing something from a very different perspective. So you may be dealing with someone who's had a change of heart, but I certainly see someone coming forward to talk about something that happened in the past and how you can put it to bed and move forward. Let's see where we're going. Okay, so you could be dealing with Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio here. The King of Cups can represent to a father figure, so it may be a father I'm talking about to you. But the King of Cups as an energy is very loving and caring, but not always sort of really open about that. Maybe not always tells you how they feel. This is a person who may be, you know, quite full of emotion, but keeps it sort of curved, like knows how to work with those emotions. Sometimes people can see him as being cold. I don't feel he's cold. I feel that he isn't just as expressive as what the Queen of Cups is. So he tends to be a little bit more, especially if he's coming up as a King of Swords, a little bit more logical, a little bit more forward thinking. Certainly not someone who's over displaying affection here. Okay, so we have the Four of Wands. So again, there's this sort of energy that somebody wants to bring something back into balance, wants to bring stability to something. But you could also be talking about somebody here who's ready to commit. So if you've been dealing with someone that you've had difficulty with, like that Nine of Wands energy, maybe going around in circles with something, not being able to get somebody to see your point of view, I feel like with the Four of Wands, you're achieving something beautiful here, like this really nice sort of balance. Yeah, Three of Pentacles coming through. I feel like the two of you actually work very well together. So whether this is a friend, a family member, whatever, there is an energy here that says to me, for the most part, you work really well together. But there's something between you here that is putting a wedge between you that needs to be cleared up. So what I get the energy of is maybe, you know, you and this person get along really well, but you have a big age difference, for example, which makes it difficult to, you know, perhaps bridge that gap. Or there's a religious difference or a cultural difference here. But whatever it is, it's sort of, it's putting a little bit of a wedge between you taking this relationship to the next level. So it's something that maybe has not caused arguments, but it may have made it very difficult to be on the same page. And I feel like you're resolving that here with the Four of Wands. I actually feel for some of you, this definitely feels like a soul contract where you are meant to be able to resolve an issue and move forward. This King of Cups is very focused on the Four of Wands. So this is a person who wants to take this to the next level without a doubt. And there's the Justice card. So we have Libra again. So we have a lot of Libra energy in this reading. This tells me for sure that this is something you've got to resolve to move forward. I feel that you have a very strong soul connection with this person. Whether they're a friend or a family member, irrelevant. This person has got some sort of mission is what we're talking about with you, regardless. So it could be even a business person. But there's like been something that's been maybe sort of poking a wedge between the two of you. And even though, you know, 90% of the time you probably get on extremely well and work extremely well together, it might be, if it's a business person, that, you know, this person feels that it's more important to put money aside where you feel like it's more important to invest it. And it's driven a wedge in the relationship. All right, so we have the Six of Swords, which is always a good card. So there seems to be movement away from what's been holding you back here, which is really good. Four of Cups coming through with the Tower. Okay, I feel like this is like a mutual decision to rebuild something. I feel like with the Tower, there seems to have been some sort of satisfaction that you've both sort of moved away from in the past, and maybe you've started to realize that there is more to this situation, but you need to both be working on it. But for the most part, it looks to me like we can't agree, so we've both gone in two separate directions. Again, I don't feel like it's been, you know, an argument or an aggressive split. It sort of feels to me like you just couldn't agree on something, and you've said, well, we can't agree on that particular thing, so, you know, rather than let it fester between us, we want to take time out and move this aside. But you see, with the Tower here, I feel like there's an incredible rebuilding here, or being able to heal something by coming. I don't feel it's a compromise though. You know, when we compromise, we both agree to disagree on some sort of grounding. So, you know, you may have your idea, I have my idea, but we just meet in the middle. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like somebody has seen something from your point of view. So I feel like this person is actually moving across. So it's sort of like that feeling that somebody hasn't agreed because they needed to have a greater understanding, and maybe that's what they have done. I know that I do, especially if somebody talks to me about something I have no idea about, or have little idea enough. I am intelligent enough to go away and explore that so that I can understand it better. And I guess that's why I've always ended up with the Alice in Wonderland sort of label, because I do like to experiment. I do like to look deeper into things to try and see something from somebody else's point of view. Not that I always can, but I want to have the backing or the evidence to say this is why I cannot follow what you're saying, or why I can't believe in what you're saying. I'm certainly not gullible or too innocent to be able to say, yeah, okay, then we'll just do it your way. I would rather understand what you're saying to me rather than making a decision. So I feel like that's what's happening here. We have the Ten of Swords, so there's a completion of one phase. I have the Empress here. I have a feeling that for some of you here, that perhaps you've met someone that you wanted to have children and your person didn't. That's the sort of energy I'm coming across. I don't think this person is agreeing to disagree or anything like that. I just feel like this person's had a change of heart. So I feel like for some of you, it may be that, but that's the sort of energy I'm getting. It's not like you're sort of meeting in the middle. It's really feels to me like your person is having a greater understanding of what you're coming to and is trying to move towards you rather than, you know, I guess if this is a romantic relationship, if you've got, you know, what it takes for both of you to have something beautiful and you've moved away for something that you could have fixed, I feel really strongly that maybe your person is a little narrow in their thinking or a little stubborn, maybe obstinate. But I feel that this person has had some sort of insight into that now and wants to work with you and wants to work through things. All right, let's have a look. So we have the Lovers. So it's very likely that for some of you, this is a romantic situation that sort of came apart. Again, I don't feel like it was treacherous or horrible. I feel like perhaps you both decided it wasn't working and walked away from each other. There's communication from somebody who wants to talk about things now. I feel that they've seen something beautiful here that perhaps before they were seeing as some sort of confrontation, maybe they just weren't agreeing. But I feel like this person wants to make an offer now. They've had some sort of change of heart, change of mind. This makes me feel like they've grown because the Holy Priestess is here, which sort of makes me feel like this person has grown on a deeper level and understands where you're coming from now. I really feel like for some of you, this is a religious or cultural sort of barrier. You know, I've met people before who've said, you know, oh, we can't be with each other because he's this particular denomination and I'm this particular denomination. And that has been difficult because there's been an expectation on one or the other side that somebody has to change in order for the relationship to move forward. So it could be that type of thing. If it's a family member, it could be that somebody's disagreed with how you're raising your children and now is seeing your point of view. Whatever it is, you are resolving this issue and you're rebuilding a very beautiful relationship here. All right, and I feel that this time around, the foundation is going to be very strong. So if this has been your story, I see this particular situation completely resolved with this idea that you can move things to the next level. We have here the horned cactus, which is about resourcefulness. 9 and 2 is 11, and 11, of course, is 2. So I feel like you're both really getting on the same page with this here. This is blooming through resilience, resourcefulness, and discovery. When nothing seems to be happening fast enough or your ideas have dried up, you begin to question your relevance. During these periods in life, you might feel like giving up, frustrated and resentful that success will never happen for you. The issue here, however, is a matter of perception. I feel like that sometimes I can understand that completely. Like you seem to sort of do a lot and not sort of gain any ground, and the next person next to you does very little and gains miles or kilometers on top of you. The horned cactus thrives in the barren desertscape, offering you the gift of water when all appears to be dry. If you look at its body, you'll see the natural thorns that protect it from predators and the elements. What you don't see are the deep roots that extend far into the earth, filling it with a continuous flow of water. This succulent is a symbol of resilience, of resourcefulness, of your needs being met in spite of appearances to the contrary. It's a reminder of the courage and inherent wisdom needed to dig deep below the less than friendly surface that hides a rich underground world. Can you connect to this magical truth and trust? And I feel like here, this is what's happening in this connection. It's like you've seen something far more than what you're currently experiencing, and you're realizing that you can get past that now. So I feel like here, you know, it says the horned cactus tells you to take heart. This journey is only temporary and you'll soon be met with greener pastures. But first you must acknowledge your inner strength and fortitude as you're tested. Be the cactus, resilient and resourceful. So I feel like somehow here you're growing from what's happening here. You're growing as two people working together. You've learned how to get across something here that's held you back. The clock said 2020, so maybe that's a good thing to look up. I'll leave you with that. Thank you.